Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. It's Wednesday, September 21st at 9:30, and this is Coffee with a Splash of Inspiration. If you haven't, our paths haven't crossed previously, as I said, my name is Connie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and if you are into paper crafting in any way, or you'd like to learn more about paper crafting, I would love to help you with that. You will find everything you need to know about me and everything that I do on my website, which is greatstampingwithconnie.com. And speaking of that, if you head over there, you have an opportunity to join my email list. And that's something you may want to do because yesterday, the online crafting trio kicked off the 12 weeks of Christmas. 12 weeks of fun crafting projects that will be delivered to your inbox, one each week for the next 12 weeks. And this is completely exclusive. It is only for our email subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to my mailing list, head over to greatstampingwithconnie.com and make sure you subscribe. And then you too will receive all of the projects that we send out. So I'm just waiting a couple minutes. I forgot to put up a post yesterday or early this morning to say, hey, Coffee with a Splash of Inspiration, come join me at 9:30, which I usually try to do to remind people that I will be live because my schedule, as I transition from summer to fall and trying to figure out what my winter schedule will be for teaching skiing and things, I'd like to get it set and leave it there. We'll see. Sometimes that's a challenge. So many things going on in my world. But yes, it is the end of summer, September 21st. It is the start of fall. I pulled out my fall plaid. Okay, not really. Might have got this mug from, a free giveaway from. Anyway, it's a cute mug and it was green plaid, so I thought I would pull it out for this morning. So cheers to your morning coffee. So if you are joining me, give me a hello. I am just going to see if I can get this up onto Facebook to see who's there. So say hello so I know that you're there and you're watching. If you're watching the replay, say hello on the replay. Love to hear from people. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so shall we have I blattered on enough? What else is going on? Coming towards the end of September, there are still this week and starting tomorrow, there will be new weekly deals. So if you are looking to order anything from Stampin' Up, there are some deals that you may want to add on to your order, some extra little goodies and tidbits. Hello, Sarah. I'd say good morning, but I know it's not. So hello. Sarah is in Australia, and if you follow me, you have probably heard me tell you, and maybe you've participated in one of our online crafting trio retreats. Sarah is a part of that group, so she of course will be part of the 12 weeks of Christmas that I mentioned, and in fact next week is her turn. So no, next week is my turn. Yesterday was week one, and so that project, if you got it, was from Terry, as you probably know, and next week will be my turn, and then Sarah will be the following week, and we'll just, rotate through. We got lots of great ideas and lots of things planned for you, so make sure you subscribe to my mailing list for that. Okay, let's get to some crafting. Just going to turn this down. There we go. So when I was planning this, it's like, okay, summer's almost over, but we have to have one more kick at summer sorts of things. So I pulled out the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set. I didn't actually use this that much over the summer, but one last hurrah for summer seashell crafting. After that, when I use it, as we get into the fall and the winter, it'll be for people, traveling to the sunny south. So you can use this stamp set any time of the year, but it's all where it's coming to you from. So for now, we're going to say it's coming to you from, around here. But soon it'll have to come to you from, maybe the Caribbean or somewhere that you're traveling to. And if you have been following me lately, you know that I have done a couple of tutorials on making your own designer series paper. And I have used a full sheet, and I have also done some patterning with it. So I had this idea that I would take a smaller piece and then I would cut it up for today, which is what I've done on this card. I started with quite a tiny piece, and I used the Sand Dollar stamp. It's open, and oh yes, we have to go to Australia in our winter because that's their summer. There we go. Seashells for Australian cards. Thank you, Sarah. I wasn't thinking about that, but that's a long way to go for warm weather. Not that I wouldn't love to, but anyway, this seemed kind of open, and so I wasn't sure. It's a fairly large stamp for the size of paper that I was using, but anyway, so I set that one aside. I did a different one. I pulled in a smaller seashell, and then that's what I did. So I stamped a piece like this, and then I cut it into four, and I layered it. And then I put the Sand Dollar back in the middle because it kind of looked like it needed something. Excuse me. It won't be long until it's hot in Australia. Yes, I know, because sadly it won't be long until it's cold in Canada. We don't want to talk about that right now. I'm trying to hang on to the last remnants of summer, although it is not at all summer like today. So, okay, so let's get started. So for this one, I have pulled out a piece of cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So the 3 3/4, I want it to go this way, right? Gosh, I can't remember how I designed this. I'll set these things aside, and oh, I was supposed to. Gosh, thought I was all ready. Okay, I'm just going to bring in a piece of scrap paper because we are going to stamp over the edge, and I'm going to use the same colors as I did. I have lots of them. Leave that there for inspiration. So I have Blushing Bride, So Saffron, Pool Party, Pear Pizzazz. I know these are flashing by very quick, and Soft Sea Foam. You'll see them as we go. I'm going to put, this is half of a Stampin' Pierce mat, and it provides some cushioning, some foam underneath my paper because all of the stamps in this stamp set are photopolymer. Oh my, the mouth. Photopolymer. So I want a little extra cushioning under there, just so I get a nice image. I'm going to start with the So Saffron, and so now I've got my scrap paper. I should put this under my scrap paper, shouldn't I? That would make beautiful sense. And I am going to just randomly stamp some starfish on my paper. There we go. And you can, as you probably recall from other videos I've done in the last few events, you can always go back and add more. So if you find that something is, you don't have quite enough of the starfish, or you want to fill in a little gap from somewhere or something, I'll just add more. So I think I have a piece of cat fur in my ink pad. Go figure, who knew, right? There we go. Some more of these guys on here. Maybe we'll stop there for now. Let's see. That's not what I should do. When you're doing this, you want to start with your largest images and work your way down in size, just because it is easier to fill in any gaps that you have with small stamps, as opposed to trying to fit, a great big starfish in somewhere. Now, there's lots of other things in there. So you want to generally start with your largest stamp and work your way down. And of course, it's not a hard and fast rule. You can do whatever you like, and it's bound to turn out because it's okay if things overlap as well. But I tend to start with the largest and work my way down. Blushing Bride. Some of these guys. Again, you can see I'm not really paying any sort of attention to direction or whether I'm crossing over other stamps. I'm just putting color on, which is that's the fun of this technique. There's you cannot go wrong. You can't mess it up because there's no rules. You just stamp wherever you want that color to be. There we go. I think that works. Okay, so I am just going to close up these ink pads. My cats are on a roll this morning. The one cat, if you know cats, you know they seem to do, we'll call it kitten hallucinating. I don't know. It's like they see stuff that we don't, but I think there's really stuff there. We don't see it, but little tiny bugs maybe, or fruit flies, or I don't know. Maybe they're hallucinating. But anyway, he is jumping at he's actually jumping at the string from our window blinds this morning. But he's on the floor and he jumps straight up, grabs at the blind, and then falls down. You're a nut. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, a little bit different on this one, because on this card, I have a Pear Pizzazz card base again, same as my other card. I'll give that a fold. This is just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and folded in half, and then use my bone folder to give that a really nice crease. But I'm going to do this one landscape. So I have cut strips this way to go onto here. And this reminds me, I'm looking at, this is for my sentiment, and this is for my sentiment, and I should stamp that before I put everything away, shouldn't I? So I think I'm going to do the sentiment the same way as on this card, because I thought that turned out really nicely. And hopefully it won't take me too long to fussy cut, because it's not it is fussy cut. It's a cup of scissors with the stamping, but it's not a detailed picture or a flower with lots of ins and outs and everything. So I should be able to do it relatively quickly. While I'm cutting this, I will just mention, if you are not a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin and you live in North America, I'm so sorry, Sarah. I know that there's people in Australia and the UK that would love to be able to get all of the Paper Pumpkins. They get some one from time to time that Stampin' Up! Does include for them, but for the most part, they are not able to subscribe. But in North America, we are, and if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it is a monthly subscription that comes directly to your front door and includes everything you need to make some project, whatever the project is for the month. Next month, so the October kit, they will do Christmas cards. So if you're looking for some Christmas cards, you might want to check out Paper Pumpkin. Yes, Sarah's crying. For anyone that's on here can see in the comments. Yes, I'm sorry, Sarah. You have to think it's coming at some point. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I'm making it up so that maybe Stampin' Up! Will hear and offer it to people in Australia and the UK, because I know they would both like it. So, Okay, so there is my sentiment. That didn't take too long. And I am going to cut this paper that I've stamped into 4 pieces for my, my main card. Well, I'm going to make it that big because then I wouldn't have enough for 4. And you don't have to keep the pattern together, but I like to keep it all lined up in the order of the statement. Oh dear, look what I've done. I had that in the wrong place. That's not gonna work. Okay. Plan B. I don't have a plan B. I'm making it up as I go, and I don't even honestly remember how big this was. I think it's 3.5. And I don't know that you want to watch me stamp this all again, but yes, I need to. Okay, so this was 3.5. So I'm gonna put it 3.5. Do I have 3.5 here? I don't have 3.5 there. We grab another piece. Basic print. I think we have 3.5 here. Yes, I should have used my my trimmer because some of the way this one is, the numbers I do sometimes get confused. And what did I want? 3 3 3/4, right? Yes, 3 3/4. This one. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll do this quickly, and you know, what else can I tell you about? So, I will tell you about if Paper Pumpkin doesn't sound so much like your thing, and you would like to do something in person. I have actually started a card club, and although you can do it virtually, I'm also offering it in person. So this is my first event that I'm starting to offer in person again, because of course we haven't done in person for a long time. And it'd be so nice to get back to being in person and being together. So that is the first week of the month that those classes will be held, generally the first Monday of the month. And I'll run it at 10 a.m. in my craft studio. You will receive $20 to $25 worth of product each month. And then you'll come to the craft studio and I'll show you how to put the cards together. You will also get all the cardstock and additional paper that you need to create 6 cards. So there'll be 3 different designs, and we will make 2 of each. So at the end, you will have 6 cards. You will also have some product left over that you can take home and do some additional crafting with. And we will just hang out and have some crafting fun in person. Or as I say, there is also a virtual option if that works better for you. So that, and that's a subscription. So when you join, then you would be a part of that each and every month. After you have been a part of that for 6 months, I have a special little goodie bag that I will send you of some more products. So you will have some more things to craft with. And after 6 months, you'll have lots and lots and lots of ideas and inspiration for your craft. And then you can stay. Of course, you can stay more than 6 months. It's not like it expires at that point, but that will happen every 6 months. You'll get some extra products. So that'll be fun. So that has started. You may subscribe to that anytime. If you subscribe before anytime from the 10th of the month up to the 9th of the month, you will get the kit for the following month. And then after the 9th, so after the 9th of October, you will get the November kit. So that's how that will work. Quick explanation, but hopefully you got most of it. And let's see, what else? There's so many things going on. Hard to remember them all, but in November, if you live in, I'm going to say Ontario, but you know, Sarah, if you want to come from Australia, we'd love to have you. But I think it's a little far to come for, I'm going to use my other trimmer this time, just so that hopefully I don't mess up. But I get it, there's no guarantees, right? But we'll try. I am hosting a retreat, an in-person retreat. First one in 3 years. By the time we have it, it will be 3 years because my last one had been in November of 2019. So a long time. 3 years, yes. Anyway, online in-person retreat for a full weekend. It is being held in Stayner, Ontario. So if you're anywhere near there, we'd love to have you join me. That would be a ton of fun. Because it's the whole weekend. Really hanging out for a whole weekend and crafting? No. What's better than that? This one looks a little bit small, but I'm not cutting them again. It's close enough. Okay, so I'm going to get these all onto here, and maybe I'll just use this. Might be, no, I think tape on it might be faster. So, okay. So these blushing bride pieces are just a 1/4 of an inch larger. So they are 4 inches. And oh, see, I shouldn't do this and I shouldn't hurry because it doesn't always end well, does it? I'll go to the liquid glue. That'll give me the wiggle room since I am trying to hurry. Is that what did our parents always tell us? Haste makes waste. But I did end up doing them a little bit of an odd width, which is that's why I messed up on the cutting the first time. Yes, that's my story. I'm going to stick with that. But they are 7/8 wide on the pattern paper and 1 1/8 wide on the blushing bride. And I did that because that fit onto the full card base better than any other dimension. And it's not, it doesn't give me exactly even borders, but they're very close. And I could have done it, you know, central, something in the middle that left wider borders at the edge. But I decided I would try and just divide it. Sarah would love to come to my retreat. Excellent, excellent. I will save you a room. Okay, not so much, but it would be awesome. One day, Sarah and I will actually meet in person. We have met on Zoom many times, and you've met her on Zoom if you've been to any of our retreats, or if you've been on any of her Facebook lives or any of those sorts of events, you have seen her. But one day it will be in person. Okay, so I am going to grab some mini dimensionals for this sentiment because I have cut it. I want to pop it up, but because it's got these little nooks and cranny bits, I want to make sure it holds down. Should I put this near one or near the other? Neither. I think that will work. I'll just throw one. Maybe I need 2 up here. Lots of little dimensionals on this guy. Trash bin here. Get these off. So if you haven't tried making your own designer series paper like this, it's a ton of fun. I highly recommend it. No, I think I'm going to put this to the edge. 2 reasons. Then I don't have to worry so much about getting it right in the middle perfectly. But also I'll put some embellishments on that part, and I think that will work very well. Okay. So I am, do I want to pop all of these up as well? Or will that might get a little bit too poofy for the nail. So perhaps I will glue these down. When you are doing strips all across something or whatever, there's different ways you can do it, but I like to start on an edge, and I'm going to make this border just about the same as that border, just a little bit wider as I recall. And then I'm going to put the other edge down. Same thing here, so just a little bit wider. And then these two, I will just space into the middle. Okay, so my gaps should be relatively even because I can center these. This is especially easy if you're doing 3. So you would put your 2 outside ones down, and then the middle one, you just center between the 2, and your gaps, it's really easy to get your gaps even on both sides. If I go straight across, I find it far more difficult to get them all to come out evenly. You're right, Sarah. We will absolutely meet one day. So we have a half plan to go to Australia in January of 2024. My daughter's best friend, who was her maid of honor for her wedding, is getting married, and Laura is going to be her maid of honor. And because we've been friends with her family, and we've known Katie since she was quite young, we have been invited to the wedding. So we're considering it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some dimensionals onto this guy, and then we will put them down. And you know what? We're not going to be too much past 10 o'clock. Even though I had to start all over on my stamping, it won't be too far past. And I'm going to put this in. I'm going to leave a little bit of the paper showing, I think. Or do I want it? No, I think I want a little bit showing. So we're going to do it right about there. And then I have these, which on here are labeled as red and green adhesive back curls. They're called something slightly different in the catalog. But they do have red, and they do, so this is cherry cobbler and soft succulent, but then they also have silver and gold metallic. So these are very shiny, very bright, but they're wonderful little pearls, and they will go on here and make this awesome. So that's what we're using. Just going to sprinkle some of those on there. And they have, so I will probably, I'll figure out something to do with this. Not quite sure what. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. You know, it's better to just set it aside and abandon ship. So there are your cards for today. Obviously quick and easy because I did it twice, and it still only took us half an hour. I did have the other pieces cut out. I confess to that. But anyway, let me come back and join you here. There we are. I'm back. So those are the cards for today. I hope you like them. They are soft colors, really pretty. One last, the pink is not real bright, but it is sort of summery looking. But you know, here's to summer moving into fall. I know a lot of people really like fall. To me, I like it hot, so I like the summer. Oh, Sarah, I'm so glad you like the cards. I'm in love with making my own designer series paper. It's just a lot of fun. I just noticed I should go this way. a window. It's not a real window. I think I may have explained before that I craft in our sunroom, which used to be the deck on the front of my cottage, and then my father closed it in. So some of the bedrooms, two of the bedrooms now, don't actually have a window to the outside weather. But he left the windows in the bedroom, partly to let light in and partly to let airflow through. But we just keep the windows closed now because otherwise the cats are jumping through them back and forth and back and forth. So anyway, that window is closed right now, but he's in there and he was playing with the cord on the blind. See, just like that. Can you see him? Oh, this way. Yes. He's being a busy kitten. He's missing his morning nap. It's 10 o'clock. Go have your morning nap. Anyway, he will nap. He'll get energized. He'll be crazy again later. Welcome to kittens. They are lots of fun. Anyway, there's your cards for today. I hope you like them. And I hope you enjoyed crafting with me, even though I, had to try it twice. Sometimes that happens, but it's okay. You can, those pieces they'll show up somewhere else for something somewhere. Maybe I'll make them all different sizes and do so. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Everything can always be used for something or other. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I hope to see you all again really soon. Bye for now, everyone.